This episode of the WP Builds podcast is brought to you today by Omnisend, the top-rated email and SMS marketing platform for WordPress. More than 100,000 merchants use Omnisend every day to grow their audience and sales. Ready to start building campaigns that really sell? Find out more at www.omnisend.com. And by GoDaddy Pro, the home of managed WordPress hosting that includes free domain, SSL, and 24/7 support. Bundle that with the Hub by GoDaddy Pro to unlock more free benefits to manage multiple sites in one place, invoice clients, and get 30% off new purchases. You can find out more at go.me/WP Builds. Hello there, it's WP Builds back for another webinar. This time we're joined by Jocelyn Hendrickson from, I was going to say Bluehost, but I don't know if it's Bluehost or if it's WonderSuite or which arm of the company you actually work for. But hello, how are you?
Hi, doing good. Yeah, it gets a little bit confusing, but Newfold, Bluehost, we're all the same, working
Yeah.
on the WonderSuite project in general.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Apologies for being a bit late. We had a few technical gremlins, but we're here now. If you have managed to stay in the room, thank you, firstly, for making the effort, knowing that we would eventually make it. If you want to sort of share this with people, maybe you know some people who, sort of disappeared over the last moment or two, feel free. The URL, the easiest URL is wpbuilds.com/live. If you want to make any comments, you've got two options on that page. You can be logged into a Google account. There's YouTube comments, or you can click the little black box, which is labeled something like live chat, actually inside the video. It's in the top right corner of the video. If you're looking at us on Facebook, it's there's a little step you've got to go through. wpbuilds.com/live will not allow that to happen. You've got to go to wave.video/lives/Facebook and allow Facebook to give us your avatar, URL, username, that kind of thing. So go and do that. We're going to talk today. Well, it's the second in our suite of, WonderSuite videos, all about WonderSuite. We started last week with Chris Miles. Chris Miles gave us an introduction into WonderStart and how to get started with WonderSuite. It's all very complicated. Lots of things beginning with the word wonder. But we're moving on today to help your e-commerce experience with WonderCart. Just a couple of things, though. If you do want to see what we produced last week, if you want to catch up on what we did, the easiest way to do that is to go to wpbuilds.com/demos archive. If you go over there, you can see there's Chris and some various other bits and pieces that we've been doing. wpbuilds.com/demos-archive. That will get you to that page. And if you want to find out more about WonderSuite itself, maybe open up another tab while this is going on, head over to bluehost.com/WonderSuite. And they've put together a real nice, easy to understand page of exactly what all the different pieces of the jigsaw puzzle of WonderSuite are. That was quite a long introduction. Sorry, Jocelyn.
That's quite all right. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, didn't mean for it to go on for quite as long as that. I'm going to hand over to Jocelyn. She's going to talk about WonderCart. Like I said, if you've got any comments, drop them in. If not, we'll just keep on trucking. Are you ready, Jocelyn? Shall I share your screen?
Yeah, we can share the screen. So
Okay.
just a bit of an introduction. So I work at Bluehost, Newfold, and I am currently focused on commerce with Bluehost. And so last week, Chris Miles went over our WonderSuite. He walked through WonderStart, and I believe he talked about WonderBlocks. And today I'm going to be talking about WonderCart, which is a new plugin that's available for Bluehost customers on our e-commerce plans. And so WonderCart, what that will allow you to do is allows and enables merchants to create 13 different types of sales and promotions and campaigns designed to quickly match a website style and resulting in a really professional look that keeps shoppers coming back. So on my screen here, I have our Bluehost plugin, and I guess I'll start and just say, we'll visit this site and show you that this is a commerce website that was built for demo purposes. And this was all built using Wonder Block that Chris Miles went through last week.
Great.
And so, what was that?
No, I was just saying that's great. Yeah, yep, perfect.
Yeah. So Dave Ryan and I built this website. He also works at Bluehost. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Dave Ryan. But he does photography. I am an artist. And so we put this website together using a combination of his photography and my art that I have. But yeah, everything here is built using Wonder Blocks, using the patterns and blocks that are there. You see Dave Ryan. And I think Jason was on your podcast
Yeah, he's been on.
within the
Yeah,
last
he
month.
was great to talk to him. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
lovely.
Um, so just wanted to kind of like give that kind of like a start as like all built using using that. And I built this commerce website again, like I said, using my art and Dave's photography. And uh, WooCommerce is incredibly powerful, but it's not always the easiest when it comes to figuring out how to really set things up on your website when you're running to run sales and promotion. There are a vast majority of the plugins out there, they're tailored to one single use case, right? Like if I want to enable a buy one, get one campaign, for example, I need to have a plugin for that. Or if I need frequently bought together, I need a separate plugin for that. And then there are some that have quite a few that are all put together, but by and large, you really have to have one plugin for each use case that you're kind of gearing toward. So, what we've done is we've taken a look at some of the most common types of sales and promotions that merchants use, kind of just like those baseline, like these are the things that you need to successfully run a store. And we've put them together. We took 10 different plugins from the Yith team, right? So we own the Yith team and we took 10 of their most popular plugins and some of the use cases and learnings they had from them to create one single plugin called WonderCart, which can be found in the Bluehost plugin under your store and sales and discounts. And there are currently 11 different types, 13, not 11, 13 different
Yeah,
types.
yeah, that's right. You got it. Yeah.
13 different types of sales and campaigns that merchant can build using WonderCart that are available here. So it's designed to match the website style, like I said before, and really pulls from the styles that you have and your color scheme and the fonts that you're using on your site to make a really cohesive campaign there.
So I'm just going to name those because I think that's probably worth doing. I know you're probably going to go through them one at a time, but
Oh,
right at the
yep.
outset, so we've got frequently bought together, speaks for itself, I guess.
Yep.
Upsell modal, again, probably speaks for itself. 3x2, is that just a layout or is that, what is that? What's that one?
Yeah, so that one is you're offering a reward for buying 3 items, but you're
Got it.
paying for 2. So it's really like a buy 2, get 1 free. But the reason that it's like 3x2 is because of the customizations. It's not necessarily like the 3x2, it may be buy 2, get the third half off, or
Okay.
buy 2 of this category, get something free of a different
Right.
category.
You can fiddle that how you
Yep.
like. So buy 3, get something kind of thing.
Yep.
Or rather buy 2, get something. Then you've got buy X, get Y. Okay, brilliant. BOGO. It's funny, we don't use that term in the UK. We say buy
Really?
one, get one free. But I guess that's the same thing. Buy one, get one is probably the same thing. Quantity discount, category discount, discounts on all products, cart discount, last deal, gift product in cart, upsell in thank you page, and free shipping. So it really does run the gamut of everything, doesn't it? More or less all the bases are covered for any kind of store that you could imagine. That's great. Okay, sorry to interrupt there. I just thought it was worth pointing out what they all were.
No, that's great. And yeah, like you said, so it's interesting when you're trying to solve for merchants and when you're trying to solve for like what is it that merchants need, because there's so many different types of shops that are out there, right? One shop could be selling art or photography. Another shop, next shop that you go to, you might be looking at clothes. The next shop might be classes or courses, right? And so finding solutions for merchants, I think, can be really difficult because it's not one size fits all. But one of the things that is, I think, is sales and promotions, right? Like that's kind of a
Yeah.
bloodline for a merchant.
Yeah.
Everybody needs sales and promotions, regardless of what it is that you're selling online.
So again, just to be clear, because Bluehost or Newfold acquired Yith a few years ago, Yith, if you're new to the WordPress space, Yith have been around for ages in the WooCommerce space, bringing all sorts of extensions to extend what WooCommerce can do. And they were acquired by Newfold. I'm going to pluck a number out of thin air, about 2 years ago, 18 months, 2 years, something like that. And now you've picked the 13, well, let's say most popular or very popular um, extensions, and you've rolled them all into this one thing, which is called WonderCart. And if you're on the Bluehost WonderCart plan, all of them come your way. You don't have to sort of pick one and be upsold to the others. You just get all 13 right out of the bat.
Yeah, that's correct, and I would correct that a little bit. It's not necessarily their most popular
Yeah, I
extensions.
was
Like, they're
trying to
almost
figure out how to
yeah,
say
their
that.
most
Yeah.
popular extensions for, like, sales and promotions,
Right.
right?
Thank you.
Like, the ones that would fit the most use cases without being so, niche or, like, so,
Yeah.
it only targets a certain segment of customers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's correct, and yeah, if you have one of our online store plans, you get all of these campaigns. Plus there's, with our store plans, there's also 6 other Yith plugins that also come in free. So like booking an appointment, gift cards, wish list, customize account page. And so those all come with the online store plans as well
Neat.
when you sign up. So
Okay.
they're a
Thank
little
you.
bit separate than WonderCart, but they're, yeah, because we work with Yith, um, we're able to work with them and kind of bring the best of their world and all of their learnings that they've had in the WooCommerce space over, the ages that they've been around to help us build those out. So
I guess one of the nice things is because you're buying one thing made by one vendor, at least you know these 13 things plus the other Yith things, they're going to interoperate well because they're built to work with one another. So you're not dealing with like two or three different developers and vendors. It's just one. So that's quite nice. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
Carry on.
No, that's quite all right, and it's a really good point because that's something that we've seen a lot with merchants is when they're like I mentioned before, if you want to have a buy one get one promotion or the cart discount or free gift in cart, you typically have to have multiple plugins, and
Mm,
those typically come from different developers. They're all paid solutions, right? So you're not only stacking up your costs, but you're also stacking up your time, your compatibility conflicts, potential, and that's one of our big goals with WonderSuite and the tools that we're building is the interoperability and ensuring that everything that we put out there is going to work really cohesively with your website. That there's not the conflicts that come by having so many different plugins. And I mean, we all know there's thousands of plugins out there. And as a host, like we can't sit and test every single plugin for every single release of every single thing that we do. It's just, I mean, that's impossible, right?
yeah. Yeah.
For anybody.
Good point. Good point. Thank you.
Yep. So, using the single integrated tool really reduces the likelihood of errors that may occur when you're managing promotion. Or if one developer updates their plugin, and it does not operate well with your site as well. There's a lot of risk that happen using a lot of different ones. So, um, I just think that highlighting WonderCart, on the one plugin for an entire podcast is, there's a lot there, but I think it's really powerful because sales and promotions, they're they're huge for merchants, right? They're not just about driving the transactions, and having your revenue increase your sales and revenue, but it's really about survival in the competitive e-commerce landscape. What sales really do is they'll attract new customers for your business. They help to generate more transactions and just increase the overall financial health of your business. So I think that promotions just are a huge area that all merchants, anybody that's wanting to have a thriving e-commerce website, really needs to create a strategy for themselves for cross sell, upsell, sales, promotions, getting themselves a calendar. Um, and really just having a plan for how they're going to attract and retain customers, clear out their inventory, manage stock, um, building their brand and awareness through promotions, and again, like I said, competing in such a saturated, competitive market.
Yeah, and also, increasingly things like Black Friday. Obviously, Christmas was always a thing, but we've just been through the Black Friday thing, and just having a set of tools that are going to function together during that period of time is pretty crucial if you want to sleep at night. That
Yes.
you've got to have that. You've got to maintain that traffic spike and make sure that nothing collapses. So, yeah,
Yes. And I will say I have been on calls with it's like the day before Black Friday or like
yeah,
midnight before Black Friday, and everyone's gathered around a tool, everyone's on the call, and we go, "Okay, ready, go. Press start," and you watch as the website, not just at Bluehost, but for other companies I've been for, and you watch to make sure it's like going, right? And
yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of anticipation. And the really great thing with WonderCart is that you can not only create, but you can schedule your campaigns ahead of time too, right? Like I could start planning my Black Friday sales for next year today,
Somebody somewhere is doing that.
which is smart, which is really
Yeah,
smart to have a
yeah,
plan for the seasons
yeah, yeah,
coming
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, I could go on all day long about cross sell and upsell techniques and how important having the strategy for sales and promotions are. But um, really, I really want to dive in and kind of do a preview of what these different promotions and campaigns are. And I don't know
Ideal.
that we'll have, I don't know that we'll have time to go over all of them.
Let's
But
touch on
we'll
some of
get
the
started.
top tier top items that you think are worth highlighting in each of the different ones, and we can let the dear listener contact support or whatever should they have further questions.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll just go ahead and we'll start with the frequently bought together campaign.
Okay.
So the frequently bought together, it really is a way for you to drive cross sells on your website. You'll see this often on Amazon.com where you're looking at one item and it shows other customers also bought these things, right? And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
highlight them there. And so for here, we're just going to say, uh, move my notebook out of the way. We'll say complete the set. So you'll give your campaign a name
Okay.
and you get to go through and choose if I want to show this on all products, on specific products, or specific categories on my
Neat.
site.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's neat.
totally
Yeah.
customizable there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say specific products. And then here it's going to pull from your products that you have created in WooCommerce. So that's a prerequisite, I guess I should call out, is that you need to have products to be
Okay.
able
Yeah. Well,
to,
that makes sense.
to
Yeah.
be able to have a promotion on your product.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and so we'll say, not that one, we'll do the, I can't spell
That's all right.
on a live
R-
demo, you can never spell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to say for this beach rocks tote, we're going to go ahead and save. So on the beach rocks tote, I want to, that's kind of like what your trigger is.
The
And
trigger, I
now,
can see at the top, there's trigger, configuration, and customization. Okay, got it.
yep. So now it's going to ask what products do I want to suggest? So you can choose featured products, which of course you need to set up featured products in WooCommerce,
Uh-huh.
on the featured products. You can choose your bestseller products, and those will be shown automatically here. You can choose cross-sell products. So if you have, I don't have them set up for this particular product here, but again, set up in WooCommerce, or I can choose specific products to show with this product. So you can let WooCommerce do its thing and suggest, or you can go through and again, completely customize those things. So I'm going to come back in and again, not be able to spell correctly. Um, so we're going to say with that, we want to also suggest this print and this beach tote to go with the beach rock tote. And you can add as many as you want, or I
Uh-huh.
can
Yep.
remove. And I just want to say, hey, actually just this product, it really doesn't matter. Um, but then from here, you can go through and you can choose if your products are checked by default or not, which a good use case is that they are checked by default. You can choose to show the product price, apply the discount. You don't want to apply a discount, but essentially if you purchase these, then you'll automatically have 20% off in your cart of these products when you add all of them to the cart.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
You can show the full total. So you'll see here it says 55.98. Maybe I need to make that a little bit bigger my screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Well,
helpful. Thank you. Great.
yes. Yep. Um, And then you have a button, so you can say, you can customize the button label, and you can say, don't vote for Chris Miles for president, which I thought was hilarious. You're campaigning for government um, by now, right? Like you can go customize whatever it is. And then here is we're using not all, but some of the WordPress blocks to be able to add more details to the product information section. So you can come through and I can say, actually, I want this to be a heading and I want this to be a bold heading. Maybe I want it italicized and maybe I have an image that I want to add in there. You can add an image there to show above the products, which typically for this use case, you really wouldn't want to show an image. But yep, that's all. I'm just going to put it there just so you can get the idea
We
of what
got
the
the idea.
preview
Yeah, that's
is.
great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. And then you can go through and you can change the color. So there's a few default icon and savings colors, but maybe my background is red and red's really going to stick out like a sore thumb on my website, or, green is maybe my primary color. You can change the colors. You can see the preview over here changing what those colors are going to be on the site, which is great because it's totally customizable per product, per campaign, if you want to call out extra attention. But then from here, I'll just go ahead and finish, and I can choose to start my campaign now. And once I hit now, it's going to be live on my site, or I can choose to schedule it out in the future. So again, maybe I want to start something for Christmas or right before Christmas as a limited time only. However the merchant wants to do it, but I'll go ahead and I will start the campaign now.
Yeah, well, there was an end date there as well, wasn't there? So if around Black Friday, you
Yes.
could just stop it the day after Black Friday. That's neat. Yeah.
Yes. Good call out. Yep. Good
Yep.
call out. So then if I come here to my shop and we said for the tote,
That was it. Yeah.
under the
Beach,
beach
I
rock,
think it was.
one of those,
One of those.
one of the beach things.
Yeah.
I think it was this one. So you'll see
There it
it's
is.
already live on my site. So it's
Yeah.
super quick, really fast, comes through really quick. And so then you'll see I have the 20% savings. And if I go into the product, if I were to go into these products themselves, this product's not on sale. It's $19.99 if you're to buy it, itself. If I do buy now, going to add the products to the cart, and it's also going to go ahead and apply that discount to those additional products, saving that 20%.
Oh, that was what the check by default means. It means that the box to add to the cart is
Yes.
already pre-ticked. That's neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Already pre-ticked, which is,
Okay.
a really good idea for merchants to do, right? Because it's going to increase conversion there. So it goes ahead and it adds those and provides that sale. And then because there are so many different types of campaigns, we've also added this banner that kind of explains to the customer why they're getting the discount, because some of them might override each other, or they'll say, hey, I thought that I was getting this discount, but instead, because of the rules that a merchant's applied, they might be getting something else. But just to really make it clear as far as why they're getting the discount that they are.
So that you set that, didn't you? Complete the set was what you called that
Yes.
upsell. I'm going to call it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. That's great. I should add that took you about 3-4 minutes, but you were really going at like pedestrian pace to help us through it,
Yeah.
right? That really would take 40 seconds, 30, 40
Maybe.
seconds, something. I mean, it's not long, is it? It's
No.
seconds, not minutes. Yeah.
And it depends on like how customizable, like how much you want to go customize. If you don't want
Yeah.
to do any customizations and you're fine with out of the box, and for example, we'll go through and we'll say we're going to do a category discount, and I'm going to say we're going to do 10% off mugs. Then I come through, I can select the category. We're going to say for all mugs, we've got 10% off. I could add more categories if I want.
Yeah.
For the sake of here, I'm going to go ahead and do next. And then here I can set the discount. So I've got 10%, or you can do a fixed amount. So you can
Yep.
pay $5 off all mugs or 10%, whatever it is that you want. Again, options to show savings or not show savings. So you can see that toggle on and off here. For here, enjoy a special discount, 10% on all items of this category. You can customize that message.
Oh,
so that shows up on
pre-filled
the-
with like a placeholder of, percent discount percent, so it fills that out for you. Neat.
Yes. Yeah. And then you have the option to show the badge on the products as well when it's showing in the collections, and you can change that color as well. So if you're use my mouse, it's not scrolling on me here.
Oh, it's okay. I
I
get it.
have a
Yeah.
I had a hair underneath my
Oh,
thing. But anyway, so you can change those colors if you want. Do next. And then here you can, which is different than the last one, you can choose whether or not you want to promote this in your shop with a pop-up window, which here you can go in and you can add an image. So if you have like mugs that you want to say 20% off, or you can add a banner to your site as well. So you can choose to have those if you want. The pop-up windows, you can choose which pages they're on. We can say, show a call to action button. And then from here, if we wanted the call to action button, then we would want to type in mugs. And again, I said I was going to be really quick, but explaining it is going to take longer.
yeah, it's okay.
But
It's still
really,
pretty quick.
it's really all quite simple.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose more of a darker color. I don't think that's quite what's on my site, but it'll do for now. You could upload a background image to show here on your banner instead of having it be a solid color if you have like confetti or mugs or, what have you. Again, change the color of your text or your text hover. But I finished it. I'm starting my campaign now. We'll go to my site. I'm going to go ahead and refresh and and there's the banner.
Nice.
And then if we go to mugs, you've got that banner that shows here, 10% off on all those mugs.
It just makes, if you're a store owner, like obviously if you're Amazon, you've got hundreds of people doing this kind of work for you. But if you are what most users of WooCommerce are, let's be honest, is they're a smaller
Yep.
enterprise. This just gives you the ability to be really agile, doesn't it? You just log in. I've got a few extra mugs lying around that I need to get rid of. Let's just create a campaign. Let's just knock 20% off. Let's see how it goes. Couple of days, and you're off, aren't you? A minute
Yep.
later, you're done. Yeah.
Yep, exactly that. Or maybe you have a new category that you want to highlight, right? A
Yeah.
new product, using those with promotions. Or maybe you have something seasonal that has 2023 printed on it. You'll see this at the stores all the
Oh
time. They
yeah.
have the planners, like 2023 planners. And
Yeah.
right now they're like $1
Yeah.
because who needs the 2023
Yeah.
planner
Yeah.
anymore? I buy those for my kids for when they
To
play
scribble on.
Office,
Yeah.
when they play Office. But, so those seasonal stuff, you can really clear that out. And it makes it super simple and really not complex at all to be able to kind of go ahead and manage your store in a really easy way.
Yeah.
And, then you'll have the overview of what your campaigns are. You can
Oh,
come
so
through.
we're now looking at what you just set up, those two that you just set. Here's your dashboard, if you like. Right. Right.
Yep. Yep. Exactly that. And then if I wanted and I said, oh, never mind on that 10% off
Yep.
of all my mugs, you delete it and it can disappear off your site just like that. Like that's
Nice.
how quickly it ends as well, which is really nice because I've seen some plugins where it takes some time. You can't just do it on demand. It has, it takes a while, or you have to go through and clear your cache, or
Yeah.
different things, and you're still getting the sales, and that could be frustrating. And of course, you're going to have people that are on your browser and they might have it in their cart even when it ended, and okay, that's fine. But
Also, the fact that you've got all these things rolled into one, 13 things rolled into one plugin, but the UI is the same. Like the UX it's a similar experience. The buttons all look the same. So once you've figured out one, I'm guessing you've figured out all 13. Really, you got the bar on the sidebar on the left. What's
yeah,
happening on the right? It's just you follow through the same procedure. Yeah, there you go.
exactly. For all of them, you set your trigger. So this maybe I want to say
Yep.
repainting with purchase. And then, you can say, I always want to trigger this, or I'm only going to give a free painting if you buy a different painting, right? You can choose your specific conditions. So if we said always without it there, and we'll say for this, I'm going to say specific categories. And I think I have a canvas painting. So we're just going to put it
So
there.
you're currently using the gift in cart.
Gift in cart.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
That speaks for itself. I'm guessing we know what that does. It'll look like that with confetti.
With confetti.
Yay.
Yeah, and you can totally customize that too. If you wanted to change that, you can change the icon. And what's cool about this is you can choose if I only want to say actually only show one product or three products. have 3 paintings on here, but you can change what you're showing to the users. And then you can also allow them to choose like, oh, you can get all of these if you want. Maybe I'm trying to clear out my inventory, like pick if you want all of them, have all of them, or you get to pick one of these 2 items because you purchased something qualifying. Um, so, yep. And again, it's the customization. You can change the border radius, the pop-up position of where you want this to go once they add to the cart. Maybe you have a different banner, maybe you have a different pop-up you don't want it to
Uh-huh.
conflict with. So you can really customize that, go through and change the background colors. And again, we are pulling from the colors that are on your site that are set by
I
default,
was
but
going to ask that. Yeah. So you're taking from the theme that you're using as the default, and then you can go in your own direction if you really want to. But out
yeah,
of the box, it's going to be in line broadly with what you're already doing. That's nice.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So again, starting it here, I'm gonna refresh and we'll say, go to my product page and I'm going to add this little Forest Bears painting mug that I did. And then when I go to the cart, it's going to say, hey, like, good
Yeah.
for you. You
Yeah.
get a thing. Do
You
you want
get a
it?
thing. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's free. Sure. Right. And I chose to set up just the one. Yep. I want it. Uh, and then we'll just you cart and check out. So, I got a $50 painting with my $13 purchase. But
These
yeah,
are all
again,
just novel little tricks, aren't they? Little
yeah,
tricks to sort of see if you can cross sell, upsell, cross promote all of the other bits and pieces on your store. So nice. Anyway, sorry, I've interrupted. I'm enjoying this. Keep going.
no, that's okay. That's a good call. And I think that you really need to have a strategy because one of the questions we get is like, well, which one do I use? What's most
Ah,
popular? Well, that depends on your goal, right? Are you trying to increase your average order value? Are you trying to increase the units per transaction for your orders? Are you trying to increase total orders? Are you trying to increase, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Clearing out your inventory, clearing out your warehouse. And so I think that really by understanding what your goal is, then setting up the campaigns to accomplish that. You know what I mean? Like you can
yeah,
tie those back into each other to
yeah.
accomplish really any of those goals. Well,
Can I
and
ask you a question? Totally
please,
unrelated, but
please.
well, not totally unrelated. But do you offer analytics? Is there something that comes with that to sort of show you? Okay, that campaign was a failure. Let's not run
Coming
that one
soon?
again. Or this is a out and out winner. Everybody's buying from the I don't know the one that you just showed the gift
Yep.
in gift product in cart. That's a real
Yep.
hit, but the other one's not so much. Do you have anything like that?
Coming soon?
Coming, there it is. So the answer is yes, but not yet. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah, it's coming soon. We're working on it. That's one of the things that we, even though it's incredible and we've combined so many of the plugins together, is that uh, the way that they are interoperable with your site, the reports can get kind of tricky. And
Right.
so it's taken quite a bit of UX and really diving in. So it's coming soon and it'll be there and it'll be pretty robust when we have it. And it will talk about, this campaign, you had this many impressions, or we want to show the abandoned cart with those promotions. We want to show the total sales, the total volume. So it'll be coming soon. And I'm
Ready for
really
Black
excited for it.
Friday
It's not
next
here
year
yet.
at the very least. Yeah, there you go. That's great. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great goal. That's a great goal.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
we've got time to keep going if you want. We've got another 10 or
sure.
15 minutes if you want to show us another few. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. One thing that I will before we run out of time, there's also campaign wide settings as well that these you can set them. So there are defaults, like I was mentioning before,
Oh,
that
yeah.
the
Yeah.
check button has green. Instead of going through and each time I create a campaign and I don't want to go like, okay, what was my hex code again? What did I set? What is it that I like? You can set it to have your own default if you don't like the color that came there, to match your store. For your forms or for your badges, you can choose the default position. So on those mugs, we had the 10% of maybe I want them to actually be on my bottom left. I don't know why I would, but maybe that's where I want them. Maybe
Yeah,
it
yeah.
overlaps too much of my image. And again, set the campaign label and cart checkout position and colors. Same with the windows, the modal windows that pop up. That gift product where I had the confetti, I can change that background image or the icon to say maybe I have something that's more customized and tailored to me that I've made because I'm a really great designer using Canva or something. Uh, and again, yeah, but again, you can go through and choose these, and then you can also choose like for the notifications, I want to hide those on specific pages. Maybe on my cart and checkout page, I want to hide the save 30% banner that I put off because I don't want a leaky funnel. And I
Yeah.
want people to stay really focused on that cart and checkout
Right.
process. So I don't want to show it there. So I can add that, add those pages by default, come in here and
Oh,
you
a
can say,
particular page. You can actually select the ones in. Oh, okay. It's not just a check
yep,
for product pages or whatever it might be. You can pick them one at a time. So yeah,
right.
my
Or
account.
maybe my privacy policy, maybe that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It kind of
Or
feels a bit weird being sold to on the privacy
right.
page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can go
Yeah.
through and say, I just don't show it here.
Yeah.
Um, you can, when you're on the product pages, you can hide, you prevent it from popping up again to keep them really focused. And instead, maybe it's just on your homepage when they hit there. Or maybe you create a campaign that you only want on one landing page. And that's the only place that it shows to see kind of, how that performs. Um, and then you can have your display rules because again, with 13 different types of campaign, you can go crazy and you can add 50 of them. You don't have a limit how many you can create. But if you don't put any rules around it, your customers are not going to be happy and they're going to have all these pop-ups and all these sales. And then it's going to be counterintuitive and ineffective for
Actually,
your
that's a
website.
good point. Is that with great power comes great responsibility. Just just because you've got all this doesn't mean every page should be inundated with 1,000 different conflicting messages. Yeah, maybe run one or two things at the same time because
Yeah.
we all know what that feels like when you go to a page and it's just inundated with things which are cognitively dissonant. That you kind of I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Or you close out of one and then you're trying to read this description and then a couple of seconds later you
yeah,
get another one and you're like, no, no.
yeah.
It's really frustrating. And I don't continue going to sites, that have that. But
Well, that's true. You lose trust, don't you? And obviously, that's the main point is to gain trust and keep it.
yeah,
So, yeah. Okay.
I would
Sorry.
I would say with your no, it's no need to be sorry. I think it's a really good topic is that I think with any of your upsell promotions is that you really want them to be limited, targeted, and um, really to the point. If you have too many, like I said, users get decision fatigue. Like, oh, I don't know what sale or I don't know this, or I'll go over and check out the mugs because they're 30% off, but the totes were 50% off, or buy one get one. You really want to have them be very, very limited.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to know how they're performing if you have too many going at one time. I would say test them, see how one runs, maybe max 2 or 3 at a time. Free shipping added on to any, I mean, that's not, who's going to hate free shipping? I'm not going to hate free shipping. That's not in your face. But if I keep having, something telling me to go to a different page, go look at a different collection, it's not going to be good for the site. Um, so you have all those settings there for your display rules that you can go configure and see how you want them to be. So hide
So
them after.
that allows you to sort of limit the amount of exposure that somebody has. So, am I getting that right? So, for example, if it was a pop up or something like that, you could say only show that twice to this particular visitor because obviously the second time they've dismissed it, we're pretty sure that they're not wanting to see it a third time. I get it. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. Or, you have different campaigns that go and I can say, for each page, only show one notification per page. Please don't continue to show them. Or I
Oh,
could
yeah.
say a
Okay.
maximum show 3 notifications per page. And the time between them is 3 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever you want it to
Yeah.
be, the time between those campaigns. Um,
I
and
think
then,
I think people I think users of the internet are getting more and more savvy to this kind of stuff. I think they're making decisions around the annoyance of notifications. So my
yeah,
intuition is dial it back, not ramp it up. But I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's just my proclivity, but it feels like beware.
yes, I would say the only thing to ramp up is probably time between notifications because you
Yeah.
don't want to
Okay.
wait
Yeah.
1 second,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
ramp that one up,
Yeah.
but
Ramp that one
maybe
up. Yeah.
maybe only show a couple
Yeah.
by default.
Yeah.
Um, and then the top banner display options. So again, you can have multiple campaigns that have the top banner, and you can choose to show a random banner. So you may not know what banner the customer sees. So it might be mugs are 30% off, or it might be the buy one get one if both of those are running at the same time.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
or you can say, show the banner of the latest campaign added. And again, you can choose to hide on specific pages, hide on a product page. You can hide on mobile devices. So all those are customizable that you can put across all the campaigns. And again, not have to go and customize each and every single time. But for special promotions, you might want to customize them individually. So you have both options there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, I I'm happy if you want to carry on for another 5 minutes or so.
Sure.
If not,
Yeah.
I've got yeah, please do.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
it's
tell me
one.
the campaign you want to
Well,
see. You pick one.
okay. Let me have a look. 3 or 2. Quantity discount, category discount. We've seen that discount. Cart discount. What's last deal? What's that?
Yep. So the last deal is really a urgency based sale where you say like last chance to get 50% off this product.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so, and this is going to happen when a user adds product to the cart. So we'll just use the last
So
chance.
is this a FOMO thing? Is this a
Yep.
watch out, we're running out of stock, or time's running out type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say 50% off on what are my products on? Nope. I don't know. I set this demo setup and I
Yeah, I've
reviewed the
forgotten that
products,
bin.
but now I'm like, what products did I actually
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
So, maybe we'll say we want this to be specific categories and maybe it's not the notebooks that they chose. And so we could choose all other products. If anybody adds anything except notebooks,
Oh, very clever. Nice.
I have too many
Yeah,
categories.
yeah, I
But
was gonna say, you
anyway,
need to
but
toggle all there.
right, a toggle on or off, that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's a good feature. I should add that. But anyway, so they don't purchase a notebook and
Yep.
I want to increase my cross sell. I want to add additional items per transaction. Then we can say, cool, if they choose anything other than notebooks, then we're going to go ahead and show this campaign. So the product for offer
I
deal.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
Like,
we're gonna
really,
say,
time's running out. Okay. Interesting.
yep. And we'll just say
Yeah, pick a few. That's
whatever,
nice.
that's our and you can choose where to show. So you can show this on the cart page, the checkout, or both the cart and checkout page. You can add a countdown if you want. This offer ends in 60 seconds. This offer ends in 5 minutes. This off or don't. Your
Do you
choice,
know how it keeps track of that? Because I hate the idea of being disingenuous. So if it is truly going to run out in 60 seconds, can you stop them coming back and clearing their cookies and having it all again? I guess
I
not.
mean, I don't think that there's a way to stop that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But I don't think, especially where most users are shopping on their mobile device, they're not going to go
Yeah,
and
not
clear,
going to go and clear the cookie. Yeah, yeah. Good.
I mean, if you really want to, to
There's
I mean, I
ways.
don't know.
Yeah, there are
There's
ways.
ways. There's
Yeah.
ways. Of course, there's always ways. But yeah, say 50% off. We'll say next. And again, you can change where you're going to
Yep.
see it.
Yep.
All of that's going to be really soon. So again, like you mentioned before, and I thought that
Yeah.
was a really good cause. Once you get the hang of it, you've got it. You just,
Yeah.
want to understand maybe what the promotions are and what your goals are and when you want to start them and your use cases for those. Oh wow, my header is not great
Yeah,
on my
it went a
cart
bit
page.
weird there, didn't it? It went all
Yeah.
left aligned. Never mind, we'll ignore that. Yeah.
You saw nothing. Just kidding. Yeah. So I'm going to say, this painting, we're going to go ahead and add this to cart. And when we view the cart, you'll have this last minute deal.
There it
That
is.
pops up.
Look, that's great.
Yeah.
Who knows? I've no intuition as to how successful that would be, but it's worth a shot, right? And when the analytics come around, you will
Right.
know how successful that actually was. And obviously, it doesn't have to be a minute; it could be anything.
Right. Or nothing, it's
Or
totally
nothing.
up to you. 2 minutes,
Yeah,
2 minutes. And I think that you would want to base that off of other analytics. Like what time do my users usually stay on the cart page?
right,
Right.
right. Yeah,
How long
interesting.
does that take? So I think that a
Yeah,
lot of those configurations are, it's hard to say. People always ask, like, what's the best practices? I think it's really like shop dependent, merchant dependent, and what you're selling dependent, right? And who your target audience is. If you're trying to sell something to, elderly folks, right? Like that it may take them a lot longer to be on the cart page just by the nature of it versus you're targeting teens. They're pretty quick on their mobile phone with their GPay, the Apple Pay quick checkout.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, my kids would accidentally buy everything because it's just quick, make that go away. Just if you know what I mean. They don't really
well, I know.
read anything. They
I've got 5 of them, so I
just
know.
press the button and make it go away. That's really interesting. So I've got a couple of follow up questions. One actually,
Please.
just before we finish. So Chris last week was mentioning how one of the things as a hosting company, so Bluehost in this case, churn is a thing, and obviously getting rid of churn is a really important part of Bluehost's business. And so WonderSuite is a real good endeavor on the part of Bluehost to keep that your products sticky. Do you have any intel? Do you have any, even if it's anecdotal, about WonderCart and about how effective it is? Have you heard from people who have deployed it and used it? Are they happy with it? Does it service what they need? Is it just give us some anecdotal data, or if you've got any numbers lying around, whatever. Just tell us how it's been for your end users.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and I would say we've had really good response to it. It's really quick, really easy. People really like it. I will say that the analytics is a little bit difficult to say because it's not been very long since we've launched this, and for the cohort of our customers that use WooCommerce versus a standard WordPress website is a lot smaller. I will say that their average order value does increase when using this. Their conversions do increase and their cart abandonment does increase as well. It's really hard to give full stats because we're still on the gathering data side of things.
Yeah, it's
And
new.
what's interesting when you look at merchant and you try to say, okay, like how are they doing? What's their average order value? Is that we have some customers that one product is $6,000 and they make $6,000 in a week because they have one order, where another customer, they might have 500 orders in a week, but each of those orders are $15. So their average order value is 15. And then you combine those together, then the average order value, drops from that
Yeah,
6,000. And so we try to look at them in different categories to see like, okay, categories, customers who are selling this much, here's how they're performing. So we are still gathering a lot of that evidence as well. And I think what makes it a little bit interesting too is it also depends on what other plugins they have. What else are they doing? Right? Like what other things do they have? So it gets I don't know. The metrics around it are so fascinating to me because there's so many different ways to look at it and different
yeah,
things to consider. But anyway, going back to your initial question, it does lead to greater success. I think most cross-sell and upsell campaigns and promotions, they're going to increase it. And with as quick and easy this is, not only is it going to increase your orders, your average order value, but it's going to give you time back, right? You don't have to
nice.
go figure it out. It's so easy. I mean, you saw how many campaigns did we create in the 40 minutes of
Yeah,
of
and that
just
was with explaining it.
of just shooting
Yeah,
back and forth. And,
yeah, yeah.
so I could sit down and I could schedule out all my campaigns for the next 3 months, and maybe in an hour's time have them all scheduled and ready to
Oh,
go. And
yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, especially in the run up to Christmas. Who wants to be doing that stuff in the run up to Christmas? You got
or the
better
Black
things to
Friday,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Jocelyn, that has been so interesting. Thank you so much. Do you want to just tell us? I mean, I've got the base URL for the WonderSuite software. So if you're interested in finding out more, then you can go there, bluehost.com/WonderSuite. There's a really nicely put together page with all of the different component parts, because we touched on Wonder Start, which helps you
Yeah.
set up your site. We've now touched on Wonder Cart. They're easy to get modeled up, aren't they? Depending
Oh
on
yeah.
how you
Oh,
hear
I
it.
know all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay. So we now touched on that, and then we're going to be joined by Jocelyn again in a week's time. I'm not sure which part of the puzzle we're unpacking that time, but if you go to bluehost.com/WonderSuite, you'll be able to get the skinny on what all of the different bits and pieces are. Is there anything you want to add to that before we, as we say in the UK, knock it on the head, finish today's episode?
Like, just going on Black Friday, we've got great deals going on. If you want to consider, now's the best time, to kind of check it out. And I'm just super excited that I was able to be on this episode. And thank you so much for having me because
Oh,
this was a long time coming, and the team behind it did a really good job. So it's something that we're really proud of. And so I really appreciate you letting me come and highlight what we put together.
well, you're so welcome. And like I said, we'll be back this time next week doing it all again, but looking at something different, although I don't know what that different is. Jocelyn Hendrickson, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in a week.
Of course. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.